What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just wrapping up a very good trading day. Closing out the day close to like $13,800 green on the day. So we have all the live trades and audio coming up for you guys here in just a second, which is really going to show you guys exactly how I go about trading each and every day and how my strategy works. There was some small losers throughout the day, but overall every single ticker I traded is green. So theoretically 100% accuracy with all the tickers I've traded today. So if you guys kind of want to learn how to do this, these are going to be great videos for you guys to watch. And the only thing that I ask is you pretty much hit the thumbs up button as much as you possibly can so that hopefully these videos will get a wider audience to watch them. So with that being said, guys, all the live trades coming up. Stay tuned. Yeah, shorting during the day can get a little iffy. SNOA, keep an eye on SNOA here. It's starting to see some buyers come in. Definitely susceptible to a squeeze. All right, so we just push back to the regression trend. We can only really break hard, through the regression trend for right now. Which, mind you, too, regression trend is still resistance. You know what? I forgot to mention JMIA. It had a setup that I was going to mention, and yeah, it's moving beautifully, isn't it? Yeah, it had this setup from yesterday, and anyways, yeah, that's a strong move right now. There goes SNOA dropping out. I was going to add some short, but that squeeze up kind of made me feel he might go through a push. But anyways, that's just destroying some traders right now. Did Ross long on that, and now he's getting stopped out? Very nice. Well, actually, no, not very nice. I'm sorry to hear that, honestly. Sorry, Ross. Sure. All right, FRSX short, still moving lower, up about 800 bucks on that play. Right now, I guess I'm really just targeting down to $2.18 currently. Come on, let go. Go down. Keep going. Yes, sir. A little bit more, 220. Get the 220. Yeah, man, you can do a 220 move. I know you can. Thanks, Eve. All right, looking at volume spiking. 1 second. I'm just still searching around looking at VTVT here. VTVT has some good volume. And you might, well, let's think about it. You're well below regression trend. Yeah, we're going to, before I fat finger something here. Chill out, bud. Chill out. All right, there's the move on FSRX down to my next price target. I'm going to get out of that, so fully out of that, and going to move my attention over to VTVT because it kind of looks like a long. We're well below regression trend. We're coming up to the 1 deviation resistance mark. So we'll see. Adding long up into 1,000 shares long on VTVT. So really, we're not buying off support. We're kind of buying high onto resistance. So it has to break through. We got to get this price up and through 437 for it to actually work, or else we can roll down into a heavy sell-off, which I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. So we'll see. See, there's a roll down. We didn't get the break of resistance. Already given money back. That's cool. Yep. Okay. So this trade, not going to work. At least that's the way it feels. Wait, give it a second. You always kind of do that, and then it kind of reverses back up. So we're still holding support, right? So until we actually crack the low there, it's still a potential buy. Those were a lot of sellers, though. I'm gonna add a little bit more, add it up to 2,000 shares long here. It doesn't feel like we're gonna do what we need to do, huh? FAT is hitting the scanner, so it's probably turning into a long move, so keep an eye on FAT. Still watching this VTVT. In a losing position currently. Added up to 4,000 shares long. So if this works, it'll work. If it doesn't, I'm going to be stopping out, taking a loss. Almost back in the green. Looks like some good buying volume there. Okay, that's better. Still really not a big win or anything like that. Deleveraging some of that position just in case I'm wrong. I won't get hit too hard on those 4,000 shares. So still along 2,600. Love to see it back up to 437, and obviously through 437 is where the breakout can happen. All right, that's a little better. Selling a little more. Only on long 1,500, only on long 1,000. I'm not super comfortable with it, so only on long 1,000 here. Up about 50 bucks on it, so really not making money. All right, closing out of VTVT. I just don't feel it. So took VTVT off, lost us 18 bucks. It's still kind of holding down here. If I get the assumption that we're going to go through another long move, then maybe I will in fact add to it. But no, I'm not trusting it anymore. Honestly, having more computers does help you be able to look at more things. It was FAT. It's halted now, but that was the stock that I was talking about. FAT. VTVT is still sitting down here in this dip. It does kind of feel like buyers are still trying to hold that move up. ADTX at the scanner again. Yeah, that's grinding up slowly. That's not my typical go-to trading setup. NVAX having a good day. Still watching VTVT. Sitting in this bottom. Now that's looking better. All right, adding long VTVT into 5,000 shares long. It looked like we were going to pop and break out. And not working still, not quite. Fighting the 50 moving average currently. Didn't seem like there was a ton of sellers on that candle though. Adding some more long. Up to 5,800 shares long. That's really fighting. All right, starting to move in the right direction. That's better. Still not a real like full breakout though. All right, can we get through one deviation? If we can get through one deviation, it should be a strong pop. There's buying volume there. There's not really any selling volume. That's better. Selling a little bit of this move. Okay, still can't get through that resistance mark. Come on, buddy. Through one deviation, breakout. Here we come. Come on. Come on. Right there. Lego. Come on. Strong buying volume. Closing some of this move. We're still fighting that deviation. Haven't broken out yet. So I got 3,400 shares long. Going to drop that down. Yeah, I only got 2,400 long now. Still struggling to break that deviation mark. So I'm going to pretty much take that move off. Yeah. So kind of can't break out that deviation mark right now. That's a bummer. Almost a good one. All right, so all out of VTVT was up about 500 bucks. Couldn't break the deviation, so close it out. Loss of 14 bucks. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Not fun. That's dumb. So hopefully you guys, were able to get some of that, and we're able. By the way that I took mine off, wasn't able to get a win with the spread and everything. Just it didn't work. So hopefully some of you guys made a little bit of money on that though, as it came up and pressed into that one deviation level. Hoping some of you guys got away with that. $27 profit on that move. Very nice. You're gonna retire tomorrow. You're retiring tomorrow, bud. Fat halted again. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's a big move. FRSX all the way down to $2. Probably should have never covered anything. No, I don't really have a video tutorial of the setup as of right now. I mean, my thoughts on FAT are you're late to the move, it's halted, and you will most likely, I think that's still going to continue higher, just getting higher risk, right? You're going to be at one deviation now, heading towards 2 to 3. So slowly but surely you're getting more high risk on that. All right, FRSX is coming down to an area in which I believe we should have a little bounce. So I'm going to try a little bounce here on FRSX. If I could ever type my stuff incorrectly. I mean, let's think about it though. I mean, really, is it even going to be that good of a bounce? probably, I mean, it's definitely a bear stock. So you'd have to be super fast. You're not going to get a big jumping move. You didn't even touch trend support yet. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. I mean, sure, there's going to be a little long pop, but I just don't even think it's worth putting the money on. I'm just going to check on NIO, see what NIO's up to. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, just kind of hanging out, not really doing anything. How's Apple doing today? Apple is down more. Very nice. So we're losing money on that swing trade slowly. Still in long PayPal open. It's still got $5 green on that one. But I mean, I do kind of think this is going to have a little bounce, right? Man, look at that. I was right all the way down to the regression trend today. Look at that, to a T. Salty. Should have been holding that short all day. Nice, Wes. Awesome, man. Wes here said thanks. He's got 2 weeks of consistent smaller gains, but he said he's been green every day for the past 2 weeks, and he said this has been his best. He's been with us since learning since March, and he said this is his best month to date. So that's good. Happy Wes. Good job, man. VT moving. Sure, of course. Moving when I'm not in it. Figures. If I could ever type my ticker incorrectly. See what I'm saying? Thinkorswim? Come on, get it together. It's actually moving a little bit faster now that I changed some stuff over. Yeah, that looks strong. Part of me wants to long it again, so I'm up decently big on the day. Should I take on the risk? I should. All right, adding up long. I'm in long 3,000 and long 6,000. Let's see if we can actually get this to truly break, or if it's just going to do some dumb roll down again. I mean, it looks strong. I mean, it's definitely a setup that's more bullish than it is bearish for the time being. Definitely not buying the low there, unfortunately. Come on. I'm getting slightly into the green here. There's the break move, very nice. And still, I'm in 8,000 shares long right now. Depending on the momentum, this might all go up to 564, but I'm not that greedy, so I'm going to start taking some off if it ever works. There we go. Took a little off there on VT, not all of it. Still got most of it. Took off some more, pretty much all out of it. Half position, 3,400 shares long now. But that's a good gain. So I want to make sure I keep most of that. So only in 2,800 shares long now. They're still selling that down. All right. In total, 2,000. Going to sit on this for a second, see what happens. And it's selling down pretty harsh. But it is a breaking move, and it's one of probably the best setups we've seen all morning. So hopefully other traders come and look at this and go, oh, this is what is, one stock that looks like it's a long on the day. So hopefully they want to buy into it. So this is a dip down to the trend. I'm going to add a tiny bit more there. Add another couple hundred shares off this trend at 435. Can't hold it. Lame. Well, so far, can't hold it. And this is probably a situation where you just call it, take your $500 and be happy, right? Or do we get bought up back over the trend and actually truly continue this trend up? We'll see. So let's see if this candle can reclaim that trend and hold it. That's struggling. So I took most of it off. Still have 400 shares long. Was up, maybe 1,500 bucks at one point with that trade. Still up 683 bucks currently. 400 shares long. It closed below the trend. This candle's reclaiming that trend. And so I'm kind of in a side where I don't really actually know what the hell's going to happen. I got to let this thing play out a little bit more. Let me check some of the longer term charts on this. Maybe I can get a better feel for it, which wouldn't be that chart because that doesn't make sense. So we are over all that resistance. Strong volume day so far that exceeds any of the past trading volume days. So theoretically, I mean, we have the volume on this day to maybe push it higher, but so far it does definitely feel sketchy, does it not? I mean, I know I didn't help the stock there when I just sold 8,000 shares myself. So, I was probably part of the reason helping that candle come down. So I'm wondering if maybe a part of our selling pressure dragged the stock down there. But whatever. We're going to close that. I'm all out. VTVT snagged another 655 on it. We didn't do the full rip, unfortunately, but whatever. That's trading. Is what it is. No, the red dash lines are just my own lines. Those are just my price level lines that I add to a chart. I press the sell button when I take out shares. It's a hotkey that I have, so you don't actually see me clicking anything. It's just me pressing a keyboard. Still, I mean, it's still sitting there holding up, but I don't know. Let's see what else is moving. I don't really see, maybe I gotta kind of look around here. I still think VTVT could arguably be a candidate that continues higher on this day. The setup doesn't look amazing by any means. It's more or less the longer term chart that I've been paying attention to. I mean, when you look at it from this view, yeah, it's overbought, but the price is over the past resistance, price action. And the volume today is 41 million. The last big top we had, volume was only 21 million. So any of the bag holders from that time period, I mean, the volume's already surpassing them. So still think we have the potential for this to move higher. So we're going to keep it on watch for sure. We might not quite be done with it. I mean, that's a solid dip that just held. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I have no idea. I don't know how to trade stocks. This is my first time. First time for everything, right? All right, VTVT definitely looks a little strong there. It does. No FOMO. Don't get FOMO, but it does look pretty good. EDIT short, maybe. I feel like that's something that's been running like ridiculously strong over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I mean, I think you're on a bearish day. Yeah, I do. The VTVT buying volume here so far has been pretty good. I just added up some more shares. I'm long 5,000. I'm going to see if we can press this one more time. The buying volume looked really good. If it doesn't, then obviously I can always take it off. Adding some more long. All right, starting to squeeze up. That's better. Taking a little off, but yeah, see, as soon as I sort of take some off, they drop that price on me. Close out a little more because it just didn't break when we needed it. Sellers are still holding that down. So closed majority, just holding 500, making sure I maintain my win from the stock from earlier. We do still have increased volume in the direction of the move. So are they going to snap us back down to trend support is kind of what I think might happen. So we just snap back down towards the trend support. So we arguably, traders might be looking at this kind of like a bull flag now. They're saying like, okay, we're kind of got like a flag set up now. So maybe we got to do one more kind of pullback and up move, and then we can actually break the stock up. We'll see. And we're still sitting there and dancing. Still dancing. Yeah, I really thought with the way that was set up, we were just going to go squeeze right off the top, but nope, didn't work. So we're pulling back down towards trend support now. We're on trend support. Trend is slightly breaking. Okay, trend is giving way a little bit, but let's see how this candle reacts. There's not a ton of selling volume here yet. Got buyers coming in on the bottom of this trend, buying it up. So now we're forming more of that pennant visual. All right, all out of VTVT, done with that. So, I mean, we fought it a couple times, couldn't get a breakup. And then again, we arguably didn't have each of those buys that we were doing at the most ideal moment either. So, is what it is. FRSX curl. Oh, yeah, that's overbought. All right, going to start adding short on ADTX. Just added 3,000 shares short ADTX. All right, we're up about 180 bucks on that play so far, 150. Now I'm checking long-term charts to see if there's a trend or something I'm not understanding. Yeah, maybe might get this move up. Might actually go towards 364's potential, but for now it's a little overvalued to be long. So I'm seeing ADTX has the potential to maybe go as high as 367. If it goes up, I'll hold the short even if it goes to 367, and then I'll readjust the position if I need to. So bought more shares on ADTX. I got another 3,200 shares so that way, if in the event we actually go up to the 367 price, I can readjust my average, bring it a little higher as we near that stronger support. No, I can't export my workspace because it has custom codes in it. So you can't get the full workspace essentially. But what I'll do is I'll make a YouTube video that basically explains how to set it all up the same. So you'll have to build it, which is actually probably good that you actually build it yourself. So if in the event something happens, you'll know how to essentially rebuild it. ADTX still holding up. There's really no news on this stock. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, there's really, the stock's basically running on no news currently. Added another 2,000 shares short on ADTX. Added another 2,000 shares short on ADTX. So into 7,000 shares short with an average of 320. Add a little more and 7,500 short. Anything below 321 will start to make money, but I need a pretty decent drop to cover the cost of all this expense that I just had to pay for these shares to short. So about 500 green, 600 green so far. Obviously, I want to get a full kind of fading drop down, maybe to the 294 price would be nice. I think if I get a move down to 294, I'll try to cover most of this position to be happy with the trade. We never quite touched the 360 mark, so I'm still kind of thinking we might push to the 360. I remember LXRX from the other day. It could be a sort of a bottom bounce day. I don't know. Wait. Come on, Thinkorswim, get it together, bud. Oh, okay. So here we go. ADTX coming down some. I still would like to see it a little lower to, like 298. So another couple pennies down, essentially. Sellers are coming in heavy now. Covering most of that position. All right, covered most only in 1,300 some odd shares. Covered most only in 1,000 shares short. Added another $1,200 to the P&L today. That gets the day up to 6,638. So we can try to fade these 1,000 shares a little bit more here. I mean, that was majority of the move that probably would happen in the immediate, unless there's something unforeseen that I don't see, which happens every once in a while. But the logical play from where we were entering short to where we just decreased to made sense to take most of the position off. Again, if it's an anomaly, it'll just run straight down, which would be fine. I would be more than happy to see that. Gary, nice work. Nice work. Was that like your first short? Is that what you're saying on FRSX? Whoa, I didn't even know LXRX popped today. That would have been a beautiful short. Holy smokes. That would have been cool. So, ADTX still kind of holding in this trend. We're green on the play, so can't really go red for the time being. Again, like I said, it still has a potential target of 360 if it wants to move to some longer term trends. So in the immediate there, we had potential for a decrease in price, to profit on. Oh, I'm long ADTX. When did that happen? Oh, shit. That's not smart. But I mean, hell, I'll sell that. Very nice. Very nice. Making money and I don't even know. Maybe I must have had a limit order out there to sell that didn't get filled and then I never actually took it off. So, okay, well, that's cool. I'm going to sell that. I don't need that. It's like really a market order with 93 shares and you're not going to, thank you. It's like every once in a while, some weird stuff happens with Lightspeed. It's like, yeah, I do a market order and it's like, they're not going to fill it. It's like, it's 93 shares. Okay, come on. All right, so I'm pretty much done with ADTX unless it moves to 360. I would love to see it all the way up at 360. I would just hammer a monster short there. I'm not going to trade long to 360. I have no clue if it's going to get there. We're already trading at 3 deviations on the day, so it's arguably a little high priced given where we're at. So I'm just not going to put my money on and risk the confusion of it maybe, going lower, maybe snapping up, and I'll just either wait for it to do whatever it wants. And so I would love to see ADTX all the way to 360. With the amount of shares I have short, could probably nail 360, another $3,000-$4,000 trade if it hit 360. Yeah, another fat finger. I know. It's like, yeah, it's because I suck. That's why. How do you calculate? Yeah, I know it is annoying that I do that, but then again, it's like, yeah, it's because my hotkeys really aren't set up maybe the way. Well, it's just me. It's me making mistakes. It's not my hotkeys anything. But I could organize my hotkeys a little better. That would probably alleviate some of that. But whatever. So there's there's ADTX still coming down a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to mess with it for right now. All right. What's next on our to-do list? Pop up my scanner, see what's up. SNOA is on the scanner here, and the stock NH, I think someone already said, and that is way, way, way overbought there. And we are going to start entering a short on that. So start to enter short here on NH into 1,800 shares short. All right, that's smacking back down. We're up about 90 bucks, 33 bucks so far. If you look at the right side of my screen, which isn't actually maybe the screen I should be looking at, NH, probably, actually, let's see. All right, so we went and peeked a bit over there. All right, so this is going full rip, but there isn't, let's see. Wow, that's a bigger move than I thought was going to happen. Okay. So added more short on that, up to 5,000 shares short. It's definitely an explosive move, tons of momentum. This could get me in trouble, but we are a little overbought. So let's see if we get our pullback and correction move. It could very well go as high as 560s. So we're starting to fade back down here. Red, starting to go green, red, green, red. All right, starting to go green on that. Starting to take some off. Nah, they didn't want to fill me, you assholes. So in less short now, only 3,200. It was about 500 bucks. They wouldn't give me the fills on the low of that candle without squeezing me up some. So we're just deleveraging the position. We have less risk on, which isn't a bad thing. So we'll see if we can fade this move still. Give it a sec. Okay, I see you. I see you trying to hold that 450. Come on, baby. Get smacked back down. There you go, sunshine. Boom. All right. Trying to cover 1,000. Just got out 1,000. Covered majority. Got 655 shares short now in this move. We'll see if we can fade it a little lower. I would be okay with it going higher. SPCV hit the scanner. It's really low price, so I don't think it's going to be anything you really want to concern yourself with. Let's see if we can get this move on NH down towards the 402 price. Very nice. Boom, boom. Taking off another couple hundred shares, still in 300 shares short. We got to move down to 401 potentially. Could even go lower, but 401 is a good target for the time being. I would have loved to have that full position of 6,000 shares. Ooh, baby. But you got to manage the risk sometimes. All right, pretty much all out of that short with NH. Going to just mark it by the last little bit. I mean, it's probably going to go a little bit lower, but I'm satisfied. All right, all out of that trade with NH netted $800 green. Gets the PNL up to $7,500 on the day. No fat fingers that time, ladies and gentlemen. No fat fingies. All right, let's go take a peek over SNOA because I know that was moving. It hit the scanner again at some point. So it's like maybe this is doing a little midday consolidation and ends up breaking out. I don't know. So I'm looking at that's a pretty solid bounce. There wasn't a whole lot of people selling it down there. Yeah, I really don't have a good idea. My commissions so far in the day are $399, and I think with ADTX, I probably spent maybe $300 or so. So probably about a $600 to $700 commission day, $7,154 green. So probably more like a $6,400 day. If you go to our YouTube channel, boilerroomtrading.com, every single day in the morning, we're going to have our scanners running live so you can find these stocks that are moving like that. Look at that fading move. Could have held that short a little longer. Imagine if I still had those 6,000 shares. Booyah. That would have been nice. No, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to try to force any moves at this point. So if something comes that makes sense, then I'll take it. If not, then we'll just sit and be patient. I'm about to take a second to like go walk around my house so I don't have to stare at this computer screen thinking about making more money or losing any. So I'm gonna go take like a little 5-minute second break, maybe go warm up some coffee, and I will catch you guys all back here in a second. Nobody steal my money while I'm gone. All right, guys, back on here. This NH stock still moving pretty interestingly. Wow, ADTX just got absolutely clobbered. That would have been beautiful to have remained short on that move. Gosh, golly. Should have kept some on, you loser. There was a lot of selling that came back in there on that NH. That NH top. No, Live Scanner is on YouTube every single day. Like right now, if you go to YouTube, just go to Boiler Room Trading on the YouTube. It'll always be live every day with Benzinga and trade ideas. So you get a Benzinga news scanner. So any sort of news that comes through in the market regarding any sort of stock, you just get the headlines. And then we have the option activity scanner, which will tell you about options. It'll tell you about halts and things like that. And then obviously the trade idea scanners there. Any tips for Zoom? Yeah, let's take a look. I haven't seen Zoom for about a day or so. We'll see if anything changed. Ooh, man, I am a little tired. All right. So if you guys would remember, I mean, this is, although I don't know if you were here with us yesterday or past couple days, but we did mention to look for a long dip buy on Zoom down at 377. The price has now gone to, well, 380 is actually what we said, but it ended up being more like it was 380 pretty much exactly. Yeah, so I think you'd be better off more long bias of stock given the prices that it's at. The really low risk entry would have been down at 380 today. All right, Gary, no problem. You have a great rest of your day. Yeah, so NH is back at 460. I mean, it's got some momentum, and I mean, this is so far a phenomenal bounce the stock's having. So I don't want to jump in front of this one with really heavy size. We're over 3 deviations on the intraday, but the longer term charts, arguably still have room to go before they hit major big resistance. So I don't know exactly. If this breaks out again all the way up to say 562, then I'll be short, right? I don't understand this move. I know it's shorts getting squeezed and a lot of momentum there. So I'm not, I don't fully understand that move, but I wouldn't mind seeing it all the way up to 563 and then try to sell into the top of that move. And I'll just start something really small, like 300 shares, so that way, if somehow it doesn't go all the way to 562, I'll get a little piece of the pie here. So average is 496. Anything below 496 is green. Did they get new news here? 1022. Yeah, not seeing it. Even the even the news says nothing specific to justify the price action of NH right now. So there's no news in the market that anybody's seeing that's particularly driving this price up. Add another couple hundred shares short, now in 500 shares short. So again, it's a stock running on no news right now, which is interesting. So to me, it seems like more of a technical breakout, just day trading momentum here. The momentum's been hot in the market. So like I said, I would love to see this move up to 562. If it could get there, that would be a very low risk entry location for me, and I would hammer another bigger short. Got a lot of sellers coming in here though. All right, I'm gonna add a little more. I'm up to 1,000 shares short on this. A lot of selling pressure coming in on that top, and there's a big divergence on the RSI. So that's partially why I was starting to enter short too. If we zoom in and you look at the RSI, right? Look at the first high a day. 1 second, let me get my drawing tools. So if you look at the first high a day here, there was, big jump on RSI. And then you look at the next move into the new high a day, look at the RSI. So significantly downtrending, or significantly more downtrending momentum, right? Going into that new high, right? The momentum has dropped off significantly going into the high of 527 as comparison to when it first went up there. And then if you look at the selling volume, it's pretty big. The ultimate volume system we have shows selling volume. Even the TTM is less. So anyways, yeah, that's partially, for the re-entering short there. But like I said, totally willing and okay with this going all the way to 560. So adding some more short here, up to 1400, now 1500, now 17, with the average of 511. That's pretty lame. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, sorry, I thought it was lower. So it's going to remain at 1,900 shares here. Again, I think we're going to go for a 564, maybe a 560 push. To go through 560 right away would be impressive to me. If it did that, then I would probably be taking a loss because we could then see maybe prices all the way up to, $7 or something. So adding more short here, now in 4,900, now in 5,900. Price is starting to come down pretty good. Is it enough to fully smack the move back down? Average is 538, so anything below 538, I'm making more money back than my original green P&L on the day with it. Beautiful move. Covering a little bit there. So 2,900 shares short right now, up to 1,700 green on the overall stock. I'd really love to see a move back down to 491. All right, we're at 517, 514. Again, 490 would be nice. Still got some buyers that are trying to hold this like 518 price. Try to take some more shares off there, but they wouldn't give me the fill and ended up squeezing the stock back up a little bit. That may have been, this candle up may allow some new traders to enter short on that candle, which would help it go down. There we go. All right, well, still not the 490. There we go, boom. Covering some into that 490 price. Didn't quite get them all out at 490. Now holding 1,000 shares short. This I'll try to let fade a little bit. Now, if we do the same thing we did, we could still have a potential target of 674. I would be very impressed if it went to 674. Now, if it goes to 674, then we're going to be adding heavy short again. So that's going to get the P&L up to $8,900 green on the day. So we're almost to a $10,000 day. Not that I'm trying to get there. I'm just taking advantage of the setup I see and then taking whatever money is provided within the move that I feel is doable. Still got some buyers in here willing to buy this thing up. Impressive. maybe it's all the people shorting, myself including, that are just continuously kind of squeezing the stock up. That's probably really what it is. Okay, so let's see how this candle reacts. We're not going to let this position run too heavy over that 560 high. Sellers are coming back in on the top of that green candle so far, but we still got a lot of bidders here. I keep seeing them jump up on the level 2, keep bidding the stock up. So if they kind of give way, then bye-bye. There they go, kind of jumping up again. So right now we need to get a, we need to get a crack below the price of, oh, we're almost there. We got to get below the price here at 510, and then we should fade some more. So far, not a ton of people selling that candle. Actually kind of holding. I'm going to deleverage just in case. It's holding pretty well here. But I can always re-enter more if I feel like it's going to break down again. Trade Zero is good for shorting from what I've heard from others that have used it. Lewis, it depends on the broker that you have. Some brokers don't allow for shorting, or depending on the stock, you won't be able to short. So that's part of it. So add in more short here back in 2,700 short. Kind of feel like we're going to go for a larger breakdown move. If we don't, then looks, oh, I'm even bigger than I thought. Hit too many orders. Darn it. So in 4,500, it would be really nice to see this snap down. I thought we would, so that's why I jumped back in. But surprisingly, they've been holding this market up pretty good. I mean, there still is a divergence, but boy, oh boy. All right, so are we going to go through? Yeah, we're going to go through another squeeze there, aren't we? We're just going to retest this resistance. So I'm going to add more short here. Now up to 5,300 short. Starting to come back down. I'm hoping that was a retest of resistance at 560, and now we're actually going to break down. Here we go. It's happening. Starting. Beautiful. This looks pretty strong. I think we can fade this move. There we go. Target back down to 476, maybe 470s. Anything below 520, I'm positive on this trade. We're at 5, so about 20 cents. Beautiful. Keep coming down, baby. All right, starting to cover. Covered most of it. Got 300 shares still on. So that's going to give me over 10,000 a day, $10,500 green. Still could have held more. I kind of got a little jumpy there and clicked more buy buttons than I probably should have. But still 300 shares, and if this fades, and I make a little money off that. Okay. Now I can sit and relax for half a second. Whew. I still think this can fade more. I just, wasn't willing to hold that whole position. Because I figured, I mean, we've seen this squeeze once pretty strong, so I still felt there was potential for this to maybe pop up again. Um, so I do limit orders and market orders. Sometimes I'll do a market order, sometimes I'll do a limit order, and there's reason for it. ADTX is going through a really good bounce right now. Just an FYI, it's a little late. This week, 22,000, that's 10,000, that's 34,000. Yesterday, I ended up finishing the day at like 3 grand. So wait, that's 22. So that's 32, that's 35. And then I don't even remember what I made Monday. But yeah, we're close to a 40 grand a week now. Wow, that's annoying, T. That's dumb. See, look at the momentum here. We're still strong on this stock, and I have price targets up to 675. So if the longs want to keep pressing this, and shorts, like myself included, keep getting squeezed, I think we could go as high as even 677. Now, I'm not going to trade for a 677 move. That's just not what I'm going to do. But I'll bet it down off a 677 move. It feels like I'm becoming the king of shorts, but I don't want to, be overconfident and then like screw myself up one day. So, but here's the thing is like, I guess, we don't get this sort of action to the downside on stocks. Not, as often, right? We just, we don't typically see penny stocks in the day, just swinging down with momentum for no reason. Because if they did, if these stocks were swinging down, penny stocks would swing down for no reason, right? Then like this, and we'd have like these crazy bounces, right? And so I guess at the end, I'm more of a reversal trader, and I always have been. So, oh yeah, I mean, I've been shorting almost every single day, and that's basically everything that I do now because, like I said, to me, it's just easy or easier for sure. I mean, it's easy to see a stock running than it is to try to figure out exactly which one's going to run or to try and catch a move right before it happens versus knowing that, this is already moving. This has volatility. There's going to be pullbacks. I'll short them. Eventually the move will stop running and then I'll catch the breakdown fading short, which would be pretty much the same thing as being long on the move up. Now you have the short on the way down. But like right now, I mean, this thing is strong, no doubt. Like I'm almost positive we're gonna, not positive, but there's a good chance we can go through this high. I mean, or at least consolidate a little bit. But and I will say that I don't like that I'm not doing as many long plays or seeing them for everybody because I know more people can long. I get that. On the other hand, though, I mean, we still do longs and we look for longs. Absolutely. What is starting to become my favorite thing for going long on long-term stocks, or what's becoming my go-to thing for being long on large cap stocks right now is, well, A, we always need volatility, but B, it's more or less when we're coming into those bigger trending resistance points or long-term trends, which take longer, right? Like I could be watching NIO for the next 2 weeks before it finally gets to where I want it, right? Just sitting and just waiting and waiting and waiting. And if in the event it does that, I will be long off that point. It's the same thing that I just did with NH, right? What did we say? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go short here, but I also think what? I'm like, it could also go to 560, right? So I'm like, if it goes to 560, I'll be short. So the same thing that we would be doing with the NIO trade coming up, if it happens, is the same thing I did here, right? I understood where the market could potentially move to. And when it did, I took advantage of the selling pressure that came in, which I was also selling it, all right? So the same thing with NEO, we might just have to wait a couple weeks till it turns into like that long play that I'm looking at. And here we go. Look at the move. We're going up. We got the whatever 580. I'm not going to short here. I'm good. I don't care about this. I don't want this. I feel as if I don't understand this move 100% right now, so I don't feel comfortable shorting it or buying it. But if the move goes up to the 670s, then I feel as if I do understand the move, and I'll take advantage of, I think, selling action that will come in 677. Right. And so even though I'm not trading long, I'm still telling you the potential targets this thing can reach. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they're going to get there, because the only time they're going to get there is if people like me shorting it, selling it are wrong, and we help you squeeze the stock up. So I just don't know how far shorts are willing to squeeze themselves up, and all the longs keep taking advantage of that. So I'm just going to stay short these 300 shares. And if it goes up to 670, like I said, I'll just hammer another short trade. If it halts and crashes, but yeah, so if it did which I wish I would have paid attention to GLSI the other day, because we could have smacked that one. But yeah, if NH just like, so I don't think it will. I don't think to me, it doesn't have the sort of momentum and movement that we would typically need, at least yet, to do one of those moves where it halts and then like gaps down big and then bounces. It's just not one of those movers, at least yet. It could become. I don't think it will though. But if it did, yes, we would. Or what we would do is just wait until if there's a big bearish move and it fades all the way out, until it gets down to the very low risk dip buy section, where the short sellers know that we just captured most of the move. There's no reason to be short anymore. And then they'll start to buy the stock back. And when we recognize that, we could take a dip long. But at the same time, look at this thing. There's just a stock moving with no news, right? And think about this. You know how red I would be right now if I shorted and never covered, shorted and never covered, shorted and never covered. I would have been getting squeezed. I'd be down 10, whatever grand, who knows, right? So this is a perfect example of how short sellers like myself make stocks go up, because we go short and then there's a bunch of people short and then they hold too long and then squeeze and then people buy and then squeeze. So in each one of these could have turned into a full fading drop, could have turned into one, but they didn't. They got held up. But you know that at some point, what's going to happen? This bull move will stop, and then we'll go into a sell-off. It'll happen. And the next location that we could potentially start that move that's pretty low risk. Well, I mean, it's already kind of low risk because we're up here on this deviation mark. So it is kind of low risk. But we could also go all the way up to, like I said, that 670. Yeah, so if you want to short on Thinkorswim and it's hard to borrow, you need to contact them, through whatever, Thinkorswim or, tdameritrade.com or whatever it is. And then ask to join their hard to borrow program. You're going to need an account minimum of $100,000. So if you can meet that, then you're good to go. And then if you have $100,000 and you're willing to go with their hard to borrow program, I would just recommend going with like Lightspeed or Trade Zero or somebody else, because you don't need an account minimum of that much and you're going to get faster execution speed. So if you're already willing to step the game up that much, then you might as well, go with a different broker in the first place. Yeah, 100,000 cash, not margin, right? Because in the trading world, this is seen as in the trading world, shorting is seen as high risk. A stock can only go down to zero, right? But a stock can go up to infinity, right? So if you go short and the stock goes to infinity, you can just lose infinity money. But if you buy a stock can only go to zero. You can only lose as much as the stock goes to zero, essentially, right? So, shorting is seen as high risk. So brokers want you to have, in this instance, with Thinkorswim, they want you to be in their hard to borrow program. They want to see that, yeah, you got cash to cover basically if you fuck up big time. Sorry for the language, but yeah, that's what they're saying. If you really screw up, we want to make sure that you have cash to cover it. The bottom half, the very, very bottom is light speed. All of this is light speed down here. Yeah, this thing's just kind of chugging along, chugging along. But I think it's getting to prices where it makes sense to maybe wiggle in a little sell. So I'm going to go short 500 shares here, bring my average up to 551. Yeah, so I'm in short 500 here. I still think it might go higher, but at the same time, I think the shorts are coming in a little bit, and buyers are finally kind of going, yeah, this is kind of up there. You know, how many more times are we going to do this, right? Like, how many more times are the shorts going to let get squeezed out? You know, I don't know. Maybe it goes to 20. I'm just kidding. It's not going to go to 20. It goes to 20. I look like an idiot. But let me actually, I haven't even done any research on the stock yet. So let me take a look. I mean, it has 110 million outstanding shares. It has a market cap of 315 million. So it's decently big market cap. And it's got a share float of 44 million. So it's like, going to 20 bucks, I would be impressed. So I'm thinking 678. And well, at the same time, yeah, I'm thinking maybe a 678 move, and we'll be back in doing our thing. Yeah, now I need an offering. That would be awesome. I have not even, since I got this platform, I haven't even opened a Lightspeed chart. Haven't even looked at one. This is the only thing I've opened. I said, let me get everything I need to trade. That's it. That's it. Haven't even opened up the news thing. I don't even know if you can check your commissions on the platform. I just look at it online. So I don't even, the only thing I do, wake up every morning, log into Lightspeed. That's there. Let me trade. That's it. So time 10:55. So what I'm doing, see the screen on the right, which isn't even really the right screen. I think this is the screen with no gaps in the chart, but the stock probably doesn't gap all that much on a daily basis. So it's pretty much the same, but I'm going to pull it on this one, NH. Maybe not, NH. There we go. So if I go over here on NH and I show you this daily chart, you see that blue line up there? That's the long-term trending kind of top resistance point. So that's why I'm picking potentially to 679, 678, almost $7 now. And, you know, it would be impressive for it to go through that point. I think it could, but is it going to go through that the first time it gets there? Or is the market going to go, hold on, wait a second. You're already up 100% on the day. You're trying to go through a big resistance point. Like, maybe you can, but are you really going to do it right now? First try. All right, like, are you really going to get a kiss on the first date? I mean, maybe, depending on who the guy or the girl is, but you know, maybe you hold off till like the second or third time, right? You know, usually probably shouldn't go home with each other on the first night. I mean, hey, do what you want, but typically in the world, maybe it's the second time. You go to dinner second time, third time, and then you go home together, right? That being said, are we going to go through the resistance on the first try? No, I don't think so. I mean, so far, I mean, I don't see like a mega selling pressure right now, or I mean, still got there is increased selling happening currently, but something tells me this thing's still gonna grind up. So I'm just not gonna. I mean, like, yeah, if it goes down, I'll be like, oh, I kind of wish I added more, but you know, I'm already in a short. I got an average of 551. If we crack below 551 or really start to look like we're getting weakness, then I can add in. But we've seen it continuously grind up. But then know what also sucks is when you don't catch the fading move, right? You've been shorting all day, like, oh, I shorted that top, but it wasn't the real fading breakdown move. And then you don't actually short the top, and then it fades and breaks down. It really makes you feel like a jabron. So, you know, but it's all about risk, right? So let's see. We're not, and that's the thing, is like right now, we're not on that big long-term trend that I would like to be. So it's not like we're starting on a big resistance point. This is all about kind of price action, and do the traders on the selling side overtake the bulls and really just move this down is really what it comes down to. And this thing's been diverging, right? Look at the RSI on this. This thing's been diverging all day, right? Look at that. That's a monster divergence. I should add more on that then. Yeah, I'm gonna go short. Added 2,000 shares short. I think it's worth it. I do. Maybe it does go higher and squeeze out again. So just in case this fades and breaks down now, I'll be short, but I can already see kind of people bidding this up a little bit. So TTM's still dark blue. The divergence is gigantic. So that's kind of the other reason why I wanted to be short on it again. I mean, it's just, yeah. Average is 572. So it had to get back down to 572 to theoretically be green, I guess you could say. Still, this stock's holding pretty well. And what would happen, right? So if it went all the way to 678, you'd give back a lot of money, which would be dumb to do. But you're just going to sit. It's okay. It's all right. Looks like we're going to go for one more move, maybe off the top. One more move into the 670s and then hammer down. Or do a smackdown. I mean, so far this is holding in the manner that you would kind of need to see for it to maybe go for another push. But if this one doesn't work, then I think we move lower. Still getting held really good. Still holding that trending deviation there. The divergence, like I said, is just gigantic. It's looking pretty heavy. Is it enough? All right, there we go. Starting to fade down. All right, the bulls should be getting super nervous right now. Oh, SNOA. Yeah, I guess that's moving, right? Yeah, that is. That might just be a that might be a long move all day like we've seen on SLS. It's kind of holding and grinding in that fashion. So pay attention to it. Keep it on watch. All right, I think we're good here. I think we're going to continue to fade this move, at least more towards the price of 511. And I don't even think I'm going to cover even if it goes to 511. I think we're going to try to fade it below 511. We would probably have to go through a bounce before getting through 510 or whatever, 511. Yeah, I mean, I don't use stops. I mean, your stops can be seen, right? Your stops are orders in the market. They can be seen. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't need to use a stop loss if I'm looking at the stock myself, right? If I'm looking at it, then I can manage it. If I'm not there, then I would need something like a stop, you know? So the question remains, is this for sure our top? If so, we would typically see sellers come in on the tops of these candles and hit them down. I added a little bit more short up to 2,700. Now 3,000 shares short on the top of this green candle. Still pretty strong though. Not a ton of people selling right now either. That feels like we could go through another. That's a strong bounce so far. Okay, they're going to keep squeezing this, aren't they? Let's see. Or do the sellers come in here? This is where they would need to come in on top of this candle. I took a break for like a second there. That's maybe why it seemed like it stopped. Yeah, if we don't start kind of fading down off this move, I'm going to cover a little bit, I think. So just kind of watching it for a second. All right, there we go. Kind of pushing down in the right direction again. It's good. TTM is currently red. Beautiful move down. Now we want to crack that previous price action low, drive the stock down to the next deviation mark. And since we had bounced prior to that orange deviation, it makes it easier for the stock to actually go through and continue fading down. Because if a bunch of people bought this bottom thinking it was the bottom and we're going to continue higher, then they're all going to have stop losses somewhere in this area, which should add enough selling pressure to break this trend rather than bounce it now. Let's see if that's true. Come on. Still holding though. Impressive. Okay, still holding it. All right, there's the orange line. We're getting through it. Come on, still holding it, but I think we can push through it. And then maybe fade this move more down towards 440. We'll see. I mean, we're not going to sit here and give our money back because we want to get a monstrous move, but as long as it makes sense, so far I think it still makes sense to hold. Yeah, we do got some buyers there a little bit. All right, took off 1,000 shares, still holding 2,000. Still got to play this smart. Still looks heavy though. That's good. Beautiful. Boom. All right, took off majority of that position, only holding 1,000 shares short now. So if it wants to fade, I got 1,000 shares and we'll make some money on the way down. That's going to get the day up to 11,892, $474 in commission. And with the shares I purchased on ADTX earlier, so we're probably like 11,200 on the day now. So just fantastic. I don't think I've lost one trade today. Or did I? Oh, there was. Wasn't there a moment where I was red on FRSX because I traded it wrong? Yeah, I think I went red on FRSX for like a second. I think. Down payment on the new house. No. I'm done doing this whole house buying thing for myself. It's too much. It's stressful decorating and buying all the furniture. Oh my goodness. Never wish it upon anyone. I hope you get a house, but you don't want to furnish it. That's not fun. Expensive. Oh yeah, but rental. Yeah. I mean, I have been a little fearful of buying a rental only because I'm like, is this market that we're in even like real? Feels like we're just like on the tipping point of disaster is how it's been feeling like. And so there is a side of me, it's just unsettling that doesn't necessarily want to what am I saying? Yeah, I want to buy one in that regard, but it's like you can't let fear stop. Then the other thing, you can't let fear stop you from making moves. So yeah, I mean, I actually just last month got a pre-approval for a rental. So I'm actually shopping around, still looking at things if something pops up. But I mean, they are all expensive right now. I mean, over the course of the long term, it's okay. But if you could get something for a better deal, and it's like, why not? You know, I'm still young. I don't know. So I'm just kind of weighing the options still. There goes the short squeeze. For most of the traders still holding short on that move. Like I said, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe it does go to that price target of 680. I'm still going to hold short unless I think we're, starting to really squeeze off to the point where we can actually hit that price target. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. So anyways, yeah, I'm still searching around. There was this condo down the street that they're just really nice condos. And I'm like, I kind of even want to do that. I mean, the homeowner association fees will bite into your profits, but at the same time, then you have someone that maintains the outside of the building and all the landscape and everything, makes it look pretty appearance wise. So I was even thinking for myself, it might be easier for me to do something like that, at least getting my feet wet too. Picking up a condo that I wouldn't even mind living in myself, right? If it's hell, it's probably nicer than my house. So I was thinking about maybe getting that. Homeowner association fees, $200 a month, whatever. You guys take care of the properties on the outside and handle a lot of the stuff. And all I have to do is worry about maintaining the inside. Makes my life easier. Now, homeowner association fees can obviously fluctuate and change over the years, which will most likely go up. True, but the cost of living always goes up. So it's an additional fee to be doing a rental in a condo. But long term, it still makes sense and it still pays out. And it's a fantastic condominium place. Really nice upkeep, nice condos, and it's right down the street from my house right now. So even if I wanted to move out of this and rent this out, then I would just go over there. It would be cheaper than the mortgage payment on this, and then I would just rent this out. So weighing the options, but I think I am definitely like on the pretty close to pulling the trigger on something, or really getting everything in line to do so. Terry, have a great weekend, man. This this move here with NH, it's still holding up pretty impressively. Oh, okay. What else is doing? Interesting. Yeah, part of me kind of feels like we might go through another squeeze on this, so I'm just being very cautious on this right now. And so far, it's a pretty good dip to have held. The sellers have stepped out on the last 3 candles almost entirely. So I'm covering this position here, NH. I think it does have some strength and it might pop. There it goes. And I got most of that short move there, and we've seen it continuously squeeze all day. So let's just let it do its thing now. I'm on the short side. These are the shorts getting squeezed, and anybody who's going long trading the short squeeze now. Now, again, it's like the good dip buys were starting all the way down here. It's like, why not go long then? It's like, well, the dip buys, the good low entries were down here, right? To be going long where we were at, it's a little high. I mean, yeah, it breaks out, it works. If it doesn't, you're screwed. So long and lows, even if it fails, small loss, small win, break even. Buy the breakout, fail the breakout, loss. Oh, of course, renters are always going to do damage to your house. You yourself are going to do damage to your house, and eventually. But that's that's a part of the business, right? If and that's the other thing is you can't look at a rental like, oh, this is my house. No, this is an asset of your company, right? And that asset might get damaged from time to time, and there will be expenses to fix that asset. And that's just a part of the business model, right? And if you go into business understanding that, then it's okay. Ooh, wow, look at that sell off there. So does that mean I should maybe add more on the short? That was a dangerous drop. That could scare a lot of longs. It would scare me if I was long. See, and look, if you were entering long in that dip, that candle still wouldn't have knocked you out of the lows. If your average was low enough and in that dip, that candle right there still would have knocked you out. If you bought the breakout, that candle would have knocked you out. Oh yeah, for sure. Homes are liabilities 100%. Yeah. You shouldn't look at, I mean, your home is an asset, but it's also a liability at the same time. You'll have an asset, but while you're in it, it's really a liability. And even when it's paid off, it's still a liability because you have taxes every single year because the government, has to get theirs, right? They got to tax the land that's yours and the home that's yours because they'll tell you all the reasons why they need your money. Don't have me do it. They got it for you. But yeah, so they tax your home like crazy. So you got to pay those years. So no matter what, your home is always a liability. It's not a savings account. It kind of is, but it's not. So it's a liability. It's not truly a savings account. It's not truly an asset. It is worth something. But yeah, it's a liability too. Oh yeah, depending on the state you live in. I have, Gretchen Whitmer here. She is a thing of beauty. She is a wonder. She's a Wonder Woman. She couldn't possibly do anything wrong. Can't make any mistakes. She's fantastic. She's a great person. California is a dead state. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I love California. I love the scenery there, but I haven't been in 2 years, because of COVID-19. And I usually go down to San Diego, so I never have issues. I'm saying, but I always hear it's like Los Angeles that has a problem. I haven't been to Los Angeles, actually, I went to Los Angeles in like 4 years ago, briefly. But I haven't gone. I went to Los Angeles as like a kid. I'm sure it's changed quite a bit. I live in Cali and invest out of state. I would too. So Eddie Page, I live in Los Angeles. It's disgusting. Okay, well, I will take your word for it. You know what's crazy is you always see in the movies, what is the one, I don't know, those futuristic movies where like the world's like way like thousands of years in the future. You always see LA as like, literally you always see LA as, sorry to put it this way, the crap town, the crap hole, the homeless. There's like the city's just run down, or like it's like, oh well, this was Los Angeles, but then it fell apart. It's like, it's already is. So it's like maybe it's going to happen that way. Like I always say, I literally said this in chat. Almost everything you see in the movies ends up becoming real life, right? Because we think of it, then we manifest it, and then we build it, right? Like spaceships going out of space. Okay, that happened, right? Like all this stuff, flying cars. Soon we kind of have those. They're like little buggy things that they're working on. Like driving, like it all happened. I swear the movies always come true. It's crazy. So anyways, this NH stock, yeah, it's kind of looking heavy here. I'm at the point where it's like, I think I'm good. I don't think I'm going to trade anymore. So, yeah, that being said, great day. I'm going to hop off here. Everybody enjoy your Friday. I will see you guys come Monday morning. All in all, fantastic day. Should be finishing out probably about 11 grand. I gave back like $200 on that last little move up with NH, but it is overall, yeah, about 11 grand. I will see everybody on Monday morning. Everybody take care. God bless you, and see you in the morning on Monday. Take care.